take it like the benefactor's been a factor. Well, truthfully, we know you never been a factor. Well, honestly, the truth is that you've been an actor. And now your actions got them boys about to mass up. Lectures from the devil got you piping hot. This up and you get screwed and chopped, no Michael Watts. When I was 10, I knew I should have been on rap a lot. Think like Jay Prince and I do more than just rap a lot. Listen, I went and got my digits up. Listen, your favorite, bruh. Listen, you don't want no trouble, cuz. The 25th, I got a meeting with the governor. That's real rap a lot, no cap a lot. I used to from Farron down to Camelot. I used to whip up in my granny's pot. She asked my friends, was I...
The rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Detroit Lions. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? Wishing he had a mulligan. That's not how you want to start the game.
Not at all, because not only do you give up the penalty and good field position, but it just kills the momentum of your team as you start a game.
Play action. It's Jackson. Rolling to his right. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
The throw over the middle taken in, and they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big connection on that one, 31 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Jackson will throw again. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Now this defense for the Ravens, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. on the handoff. This is Swift. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Third down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard. From the gun, Robinson. He sets to fire deep. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Ravens force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
He's going deep for Brown. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. Back to Brown, this time complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come. We get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Partner, I think it's hard to say because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week and takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 25%, and I feel like I'm being generous with that number. Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Right back to Dobbins on 1st. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Finds his tight end Oliver here outright. And he'll be pulled down as a penalty flag will rein in as well. And that would appear to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now a 2nd down and 6. Jackson now. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about it.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Tucker with the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Here comes Nelson. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship? Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Here comes Nelson. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Robinson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
They'll run on first down. Swift, nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
They run. Robinson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Well, he tried to bounce it outside, but that's obviously not his game. He's too much of a straight line runner.
Yeah, him in the outer third of the field, not a recipe for success. That time a loss. Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, the dime look that time on defense just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Ravens are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Tucker with the extra point. And the rout is on here in this first half. Here comes Nelson. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Swift. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now a carry for Swift. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Comes Swift. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On first down, Swift. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now it's Swift. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Robinson. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. He's going deep for Brown. And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. A big play there just before halftime.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
He's going to let it go again. And this is caught. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens will extend their lead here just before halftime. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the rout is on here in this first half. 4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. Here comes Nelson. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Here comes Nelson. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot. Pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He's going to air one out. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Jackson going to get this out to Brown. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That last throw right there putting him already over 3,000 passing yards now for the campaign.
And given where we are in the season, Brandon, you have to think to yourself, if he stays healthy, I think 4,000's a given. I think 5,000 is not out of the question if he stays high.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now Jackson finding some room at midfield and finally taken down at the 44-yard line.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Alex Highsmith there on the tackle.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. From the gun, Jackson. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 22-yard line.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
They go play action now. Jackson. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great play there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Ravens have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Tucker with the extra point, and it is 42-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Here comes Nelson. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. High throw, but he makes the catch.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
They'll run on first down. Swift, and not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. The tackle by Eric Armstead.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. From the gun, Robinson. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. They're indeed going for it as they look under a heavy rush, and down he goes. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he's taken down inside the 30. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Robinson. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Hey, we got 3 down, 3 down.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
To throw is Robinson. Throwing on 1st down. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Back to throw. Robinson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
And that is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I really enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season?
And in for the Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens are on their way to a 9-0 start as they build on to their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Juan Thornhill. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. 77 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. On first down, they'll run with Nwangu. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. A gain of 3, second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Ravens are closing in on a 9th victory on the year as they extend their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harrington, and he stopped immediately there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
His hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. It just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Lions turned away on fourth down. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. They'll set up the screen for Nwangu. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Tucker now to add the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Let's just be frank, they're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Hurts throw taken in by Hawkinson here.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game, because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there, as that will wind up incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them, because just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. Room to run past midfield. There he goes left side. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play. So it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that,